If Hollywood loves one thing, it's cocaine. If Hollywood loves two things, though, it's taking something that you love, wildly misinterpreting it, and then turning that into a glossy $200 million movie that may or may not flop at the box office. At least that seems to be the prevailing sentiment when it comes to pretty much any movie adaptation ever, but it's especially the sentiment around anime adaptations. Now, regardless of what you thought of it, Ghost in the Shell was just the beginning of a new wave of big-budget Hollywood versions of your favorite anime and manga. For example, Death Note's coming this August, and other titles like Bleach, Naruto, Battle Angel Alita, and Robotech are all currently in development as well. But not every anime adaptation was actually meant to see the light of day. Some died on the vine or were banished to the ninth circle of development hell. And on today's episode of The Dan Cave, we're talking about the Hollywood anime adaptations that almost happened, but didn't. Gundam. Along with Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, Mobile Suit Gundam helped introduce a generation of fans to anime through Cartoon Network's Toonami block. And it was very nearly a major Hollywood movie as well. Back in 1983, Lionsgate was trying to make Gundam into a movie full of 100-foot-tall robots, Americanized characters, and general attempts to cash in on the sci-fi craze sparked by films like Star Wars. In fact, the final product was described as being a mixture of recognizable Mobile Suit Gundam moments with liberal helpings of Star Wars and Seven Samurai sprinkled in for good measure. Ultimately, though, it was scrapped because the filmmakers neglected to get proper permission from Gundam's license holders. Whoops. It was an ambitious project for sure, but much like my pitch to transform Hamtaro into a psychosexual erotic thriller, it's probably best that it never saw the light of day. Neon Genesis Evangelion. With its heady blend of religious symbolism, a complex exploration of human psychology, giant robot fights, and genuinely shitty parenting, Neon Genesis Evangelion seems like an impossible film for Hollywood to get right. Yet that didn't stop them from trying back in the early 2000s. New Zealand-based effects wizard / Hobbit aficionados Weta Workshop actually produced some pretty sick concept art for the project, but I'm just not sure the world is ready for a movie where a sad teen robot pilot jerks off in front of a comatose German girl. Unless... No, not even then. Not even if Todd Solondz was directing. No, don't do it. I realized there was like, I need to expand this because no one, like 5 people in the audience
We'll get the reference.
understand Todd Solondz is a person. Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, I know, Ghost in the Shell just came out, but it was very nearly made by other Hollywood directors of note, like Uwe Boll. Just kidding, I meant directors of note, not that guy, he sucks. I meant the Wachowski siblings and Steven Spielberg. Now, apparently, before they decided to just make The Matrix instead, the Wachowski said to producer Joel Silver, "We want to do Ghost in the Shell in live action." And if you watch The Matrix, they basically did. As for Spielberg, though, he acquired the rights through DreamWorks, but ultimately did nothing with them. Instead, he opted to scratch his existential robot itch with the late great Stanley Kubrick's treatment for AI instead. And at the end of the day, all I can wonder is if these great filmmakers would have made the same mistake that the new film did. Not featuring enough footage of Bato chilling with those cute-ass stray dogs he feeds. I mean, come on! Bato chilling with that pooch on the roof, it's the best part of the new film. Fight me. Monster. Guillermo del Toro, the master of announcing that he's attached to a project that you're impossibly excited for, only for that project to never ever happen ever. I mean ever, seriously. I did an episode about it, you can watch it. And that seems to be exactly what's happening with Del Toro's proposed TV adaptation of the medical murder mystery series, Monster. It's the story of a brain surgeon who saves the life of a child instead of that of the local mayor. But then that kid grows up to be a murderous psychopath. Whoops. Sounds super up GDT's creepy alley, right? Well, unfortunately for us, it sounds like that project, which was originally set to go at HBO, was dead on arrival, like so many mayors at so many hospitals. Akira. The little live-action adaptation that couldn't pops up in the news cycle every now and then, most recently with Get Out director Jordan Peele being, quote, aggressively courted to direct, end quote. But I'm betting dollars to old chestnuts that it'll never happen, it'll never see the light of day. Katsuhiro Otomo's 1988 anime classic is a singular work of art, and everyone from George Miller to Leonardo DiCaprio has been attached to it over the years. I know, right? Think about it. Worst of all, though, is the idea that you can take this iconic story and set it in Manhattan, as though it's not deeply tied to post-war nuclear trauma in the Japanese consciousness. But then again, nothing is sacred, and that's how we wind up with Dragon Ball Evolution in the first place. Sword Art Online. Now, what could be cooler than a TV show about teens jacking into the cyber to play a fantasy MMORPG that turns out to be a nightmarish fight for their lives? How about an American version of that show done in live action? Well, that's exactly what producers are hoping to do with the mega popular anime Sword Art Online. It already feels a bit like Ready Player One, but way more murdery, so I get the appeal. But also, like, we just got Westworld, and is this really gonna be better than that? Because I'm looking at the big picture, and it doesn't look like anything to me. Cowboy Bebop. 7 words. A live-action version of Cowboy Bebop. 3 more words, starring Keanu Reeves. I'll be honest, I'm not mad at it. Once upon a time, Shinichiro Watanabe's jazzy sci-fi story of spacefaring bounty hunters was being eyed by Fox to make the leap from anime to live action, with the man who would become John Wick as Spike Spiegel. Now honestly, of all the proposed anime adaptations here, this is the one I'd actually most like to see, mainly because I want to hear the sweet horn sting of Yoko Kanno's tank in Dolby Atmos. But actually, because I want to see a real corgi do shrooms. Oh, such a good bit on that episode. Ein, what are you doing? You're bouncing all around, you crazy dog. And those, my friends, are some of the live-action anime adaptations Hollywood failed to get off the ground. They may happen someday, but that day is not today, unless it is, in which case this episode is already out of date. But tell me, which of these would you most like to have seen? What anime do you think would work well as a live-action adaptation? Let me know in the comments below and give me a highly animated thumbs up while you're there. Now be sure to like and subscribe or else you might miss next week's show about the story of an inspiring young girl who travels to Washington, D.C. where she competes in the highest stakes competition possible, reciting the entire screenplay of Jerry Seinfeld's Most Misguided Project in Akeelah and the Bee Movie. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At Objective SK asks, what is a Hot Pocket? Wow. What a staggering question. Well, while on paper, a Hot Pocket may seem like a breaded delivery system designed to transport things like pepperoni, ham, and cheese into your mouth, it's actually a Lovecraftian creation, a flavor sarcophagus, a mouth-based nightmare that defies all science and logic, managing to both be mouth-scaldingly hot and frozen solid with every bite. They are a microwavable cautionary tale, and you should stay far, far away, my friend. But tell me, what do you think a Hot Pocket is? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.